Hello, everybody. Welcome back from spring break. Coach Hart here with you. We're going to try something a little different today. We're going to go with a video made by me to try to give you guys a little bit of a different kind of feel for what we're doing here. Hopefully, this one will go pretty well. Let me know what you think. Definitely let me know whether you guys want to keep doing it this way. We're obviously trying to find the best way we can to make this work. I can also do live streams of things like this, like the notes. But again, you guys let me know. The more you let me know, the more I can do. So we're going to give this a shot today. Today, coming back out of the spring break, we're going to go with the distance formula. These assignments in Khan Academy have already been assigned. They are due tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. So we're going to go through the notes for today. I will post this with those notes again, as well as an attendance form, and then we will continue on the process for the rest of the week, as you guys know. So let's get right into it. If you've got the volume up a little high, you may want to turn it down a little bit. Our nice little transition vid here can get a little loud at times. But with that being said, here we go. And hello. Hi, guys. We've got a distance formula today. Like I said, coming out of this one, let's take a look at what we've got here. Distance formula right here underneath the square root. Remember, that is what this nice little, let's see where my mouse is here. That is what this nice little square root symbol is, where this formula is. Remember, that is taking it after we go through this. So the x2 and the x1, those are going to be the values that you've got. So here in what we've got here, let me see if I can maybe, there we go. There's the hand. Maybe the hand will be a little better. But our two x values here, as you can see, the -5 and the -2. And then the y values, we have the -3 and the +3. Now, the only thing you've got to do is you got to keep them in line. So notice here we had x2 and y2 were the first ones listed. If you go with x1 and y1 first, it doesn't matter. You can go with either one. But whichever one you list first here, the x2, notice they listed the -2 here first. So notice they had to list the buddy with it, the -3, first on this side for the y. So that's how we get to that. And then as you go through, notice they went through and they did them in the steps that you should do them in. The first thing that they do is they set it up. So they get their subtractions in between those parentheses. After we do those subtractions, notice we have +3 and -6. Now, we are squaring these numbers. I cannot stress this enough. When you square numbers, notice they squared a negative number right here. It is positive. Every time you square a number, it's going to be positive. You can never square a number and get a negative number as an answer. So, with that being said, you may plug it into your calculator, and your calculator may say, hey, that number is negative. Let me see if I can plug it in right here and see what it looks like for you. Let's see. I'm going to have to pull up my little streamer here. So if we notice right here, it is a little mirrored for you, but -36, put in, notice there is no parenthesis there. No parenthesis. So you get negative answer. Now, if I put the parenthesis in there as it's written, notice, now let's try to find where our camera is. -6 squared gives us +36. So, there's a little crude way to do it, but like I said, with what we've got here, you are always going to get positive numbers. If you are ever adding a negative number together underneath this square root, you've done something wrong. Go back and change it. So now once we put it in the square root, notice we've got here 45. Now we did go over simplifying radicals. So understand, we can ask you to give the answers both ways. It may be a decimal like they've got in the notes here where they just went to the tenths place, that first decimal, or it can be the simplified radical answer. Now, if we did that with this, our factor tree, we'd have 9 times 5. The 5 would stay. Not going to be able to factor that. The 9 is 3 times 3, so there's a pair for us. The 3 comes outside. The 5 would be left inside, and there is no buddy for the 5 to come out. So we would end up with nothing there. Now let me see if it mirrors it for you. We'll show you everything that I just explained there for that. because remember, when we are simplifying radicals, we are looking for those pairs that we had. So we're going to start here. We've got 45 at the top. We are going to be able to go 9 times 5. Now remember, like we said, since the 5 cannot get factored anymore, we are not going to be doing anything with that. So if it stays, the 9 is going to be 3 times 3. That's where we get a pair there. So notice, got those circled, because after that, we will take it out. There was nothing else left for the 5. So the 5 stays inside the house under the radical. The 3, one of them, remember, comes outside. So that would be what square root of 45 would be as a simplified radical, if you do not really remember that too much. But with that being said, just be able to give those answers in both forms. So now, as you can see, distance formula is nice in the sense that it doesn't change. We just need to be able to go through, pull out our numbers. So again, if we look, we've got A is -4, +1. B is +3, -1. So if we go into our X's, which one did they list first? They listed the 3. So since they listed the 3 first, we have to list the buddy of it, the -1, first here with the Y's. So notice 3 is first, so we use the B first. They used the X2. They made this the X2, Y2. This is the X1, Y1 here. Now, if you go through, you can see again the same thing following through both of these answers. Remember, when we are rounding, we go to that second decimal place. If it's 5 or higher, we'll round the first one up. If it is 4 or lower, we'll stay right where it is. So like I said, the only thing I do want to kind of talk about is this one here, number 5. Notice it's just a picture. So what did they do? They put the 0, 0 right where it is, right where the X and the Y axes cross, and then counted out to each of these 2 points. So notice 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to get this 2, 7 point right here. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2 down. Since we went to the left and we went down, both of those are going to have to be negative there. And then just for some clarification to make sure we understand, remember this is X minus X. So this is not the -6 and the -2. Remember, you are never going to have numbers in the same parentheses up here in the same parentheses on the bottom. So this is the -6 and the +2 that's over there for this one. Now, with that being said, distance formula is all we're doing today. I'm now going to take it and go over to what our assignment is in Khan Academy for today and just kind of go over that to make sure we do understand that for you. So let me just get that switched over real quick. There we go. And now coming over here, you can see your assignments that you've got. Now these numbers, this is my nice little screen that I get to see. This is showing the numbers that have completed the assignment. So we're getting some pretty good participation from you guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm very happy with that. Very, very happy with that. I'd like to see these be 21 out of 21 or at least 20 out of 21 because I think I do have a creative little student in this one. But we got to get these numbers up. So let's keep working, keep doing what you're supposed to do. Now, I want to go over this as well. Notice, for distance formula, there are 5 assignments today, but only one of them is a graded assignment. That is the exercise. If there is a video, as there's 2 videos here and 2 articles, those are there to help you if you are having questions. I'm going to tell you, so there are 7 people. I'm not going to call you guys out. I'm not going to say who it is. I won't click on it. But there's 7 people who have watched the distance formula video. If you email me with questions and I look to see if you are on this screen, have you even looked at these videos? Have you unboxed it? We've talked about it. Remember, you get a box from Google or Amazon Prime. What are you going to do to put it together? You got to open the box first. So we're going to look and make sure to see if we've opened the boxes and if we've taken a look at these videos to see if we've tried to, kind of supplement this a little bit on our own as well. Now, Going into this, I'm going to do just a couple of these distance formula problems in the exercise, or at least show you what we would need to do. And then if you have any questions about anything, please just give me an email or give us a nice little comment in the class video. But taking a look at this, we've got distance between 2 points. This is the exercise. There's one exercise. This is what you are graded on, so make sure to do that. Now, I'm going to go through the best I can, like I said, with showing you guys the setups for these and going through with these problems. But notice first here we've got -6, +8, and -3, +9. What we need to do is we need to figure out which ones are x1, y1, which ones are x2, y2. We'll just keep them as they've given them to us. The first one we'll use as the x2 or the x1, y1. The second one we'll use as the x2, y2. So when we set that up, that is going to be the square root. And we'll have -3 minus -6 for our x's, and that's going to be squared. And then we've got 9 minus 8. Now remember, we have to do 9 minus 8 squared because that's the one that we did first in the x's. Since we listed the -3 first in the x's, we have to list the 9 first in the y's. Now taking a look at that, that should be our setup for this one. Now, after that, we're going to want to go through and we're just going to go and subtract our numbers. So when we do that, we're going to get a nice square root, and we do keep, change, flip. That's going to be -3 squared, and then 9 minus 8 gives us our 1 squared. So if we take a look, again, making sure we can see everything we've got here. We've got -3 squared plus 1 squared. Now, we've got to square those numbers. Remember, squaring is multiplying it by itself. It is not multiplying it by 2. So when we get -3 times -3, we are going to get 9. We get 1 times 1, that is going to give us just 1. It's going to stay as it is. Remember, the numbers will always be positive after we have squared. Now we'll add those together underneath. We get the square root of 10. Now if we put that into our calculator, make sure we get that to show you. We put that into our calculator. You can put it into your calculator, or we can see that we've got square root of 10 as one of our answers. We click on that, and that is the correct answer. Now, Khan Academy is not going to give you a decimal answer and the square root. I will tell you, Khan Academy is just going to give you the numbers underneath the square root like we have. So now we're at a problem like this one. If we take a look at this, now we don't have an x and a y for either of these. So we've got to figure out what that x and y are going to be for the two numbers that we have here. And when we go through with this, just count it. They are nice in the fact that they give us the x and y axis is labeled. So if we just go to this dot and drop down, that is -2, +7. And then if we look at the one on the right over here, that is going to be 7 and +9. So all we got to do is set up, and we'll use the one on the left as x1, y1. We'll use one on the right as x2, y2. And then when we get our setup here, we have 7 minus -2 squared. And then we have 9 minus 7 squared. Now again, making sure that we understand. We have our two numbers here, -2, 7, 7, 9. Now when we go to our set, the 7 and the -2, notice, are the first numbers that we've got in these. I want to make sure I'm pointing to the right ones. But we've got the 7 and then the -2. It is not the -2 and the 7 that are in that together. Notice that 7 is the second number that we have over here. So we've got 9 minus 7 over there. We've got 7 minus -2 on the left side. Again, keeping those numbers together, keeping the pairs. The first ones together are 7 and 9 are the ones together first. -2 and 7 are the ones that are after that. So now we get through here, we get 9 squared plus 2 squared, or 81 plus 4. And I'll kind of try to go a little quicker for some of you in case you are getting this, but we get the 9 plus 2 squared when we get our subtractions here. We get 81 plus 4, or the square root of 85. And when we do that, we see we have square root of 85 there. We check it, and we keep going. Now, this is the last one I'm going to go through. I was hoping to get one of these, and we do have it. So in this one, this is definitely a tough one. I'm not going to lie. When I first looked at one of these problems, I was a little perplexed in where you would go from here. All we need to do is we just need to kind of have some sort of bearing on where our points are. What is this point on this line, or what is this point at the end of this line? So what we need to do is we need to put the origin down somewhere. Remember, origin is just that point 0, 0. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of circle right here. If you see, hopefully with the arrow circling, we're going to use this end of the line. We're going to use each end because that's what we use for distance. Remember, we use the end points of the lines. So one of these ends is going to be 0, 0. So I'm just going to arbitrarily make it 0, 0. Now, it doesn't matter which one you pick, because if you pick this one up here in the top left, your point for this is going to be a positive x and a negative y, because you're going to have to go to the right and then go down. Now, if we use this one over here on the right, we would just have to now go up to the top left. So now our x would be negative and our y would be positive, because we would go to the left and go up. Again, we're going to get the same answer either way because of that squaring that we have to do. So it doesn't matter which one we make 0, 0. For the purposes of our example here, I'm going to use the one in the top left as 0, 0. Now, if we count to the right, we just need to count how many grid lines to the right we go and then how many down we go. So if we notice, we have to be from here. So I'm going to actually go from here to the points. It's going to be a little easier to see. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So our other point is going to be positive 12. And now remember, since we're going down, we're going to count negative for the y. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So positive 12, negative 5 is where we're at for that. So now we're just going to set up what we've got. And we're going to list 12 minus 0 squared. And then we're going to add to it negative 5 minus 0 squared. And again, just to kind of show you guys what we've got for this, looking at what we've got, we made it again 0, 0, 12, negative 5, and then we've got what we have here for our work, 12 minus 0, negative 5 minus 0. Now after that, we'll go through, we will get 12 squared plus negative 5 squared, because again, nothing is going to be changing for us in terms of subtracting 0. Since we're just subtracting 0, that's going to be just 12 and negative 5. So now as we go through here, we're going to go through, we'll see where we're at. We have 12 plus negative 5 squared. Remember, when it's negative, it doesn't matter. We put it inside parentheses if we're going to use our calculators, and we get 144 plus 25. That's going to be the square root of 169. Now, we get the square root of 169, and we're going to go back to our answers, and we're going to look at them, and we're going to start to freak out a little bit, because square root of 169 is not one of our answers, or at least it doesn't look like it is. In this scenario, don't freak out just yet and say that you have the wrong answer. Put that square root of 169 into your calculator. When we put the square root of 169 into our calculator, we're going to see that we get what one of our answers was. We get square root of 69, or 169 becomes 13. So since it becomes 13, we actually do see that we have that as one of our answers. And we would put that, check it, and then on to the next one. So those are basically the different types of problems you're going to see in these exercises today. If you have any questions for anything you see, please let me know. Send me an email and let me know what you guys think about the video for class today, and if it's something that helped you or if you'd rather kind of just stick with what we were doing before this. Now, please understand, you always must self-promote. I'm trying to do everything in self-promotion that I can with this nice little overlay and this nice little scrolling text on the bottom. But as I say in every single broadcast that I do, please, if you like what you hear today, please give me a like and a follow on Twitch and on Twitter. On Twitter, you've seen it on the bottom. You guys can join it if you like and check it out. Not very many things are going to be posted for class on the Twitter, but, we'll do what we can. Maybe an extra credit here or there for those that are following and responding to things. You're not going to get extra credit just for following. I'm going to tell you that right now. But appreciate you guys listening to this and giving this the good old little time of day. I hope everybody's staying well, staying safe. And remember, don't do anything I wouldn't do. And with that, I will see you guys tomorrow.